G'day everyone, my name's CautiousPancake and welcome back to my Aska playthrough of the new Seaborne Raiders update. Today's goal is to take advantage of the bloomery we added last time and to get the metalworker and carpentry add-ons built on our second workshop, as we'll need these to start making better weapons. Okay, as we wait for the sun to rise and for our villager to arrive, it's time to just go and make a quick tweak to our hunter's hut. We currently don't have anybody working in the hunter's hut, so just going to add Asa back. I know she's sort of bounced between the archery range and the hunter's hut, but it's time for her to go and make sure that our meat supplies don't dwindle. And while she's off doing that, let's just have a look at what's changed in here. Now that we've added the leather worker, we can make cured leather hides from leather hides, funnily enough. And it also opens up a bunch of extra clothing options that weren't there before. We only had the linen options. So just having a look through things like the scrap leather gloves, not the linen boots, there should be some leather boots here somewhere as well. But what, ooh, smokers are approaching. Have to go have a look out for them in a minute. There's the leather boots. So we can potentially replace some of our basic linen items. So we'll add the leather boots and gloves and remove the cloth or the linen boots and gloves just to make the slightly better versions. Ooh, I heard them. Where'd they go? And what are they doing? They're not eating our farm. That's good. They're eating our people? I don't think that's a carnivorous rabbit. I think that's just sitting in here doing nothing. It's not doing anything anymore. And I don't think I'll bother trying to chase those other two. We need Asa to come over, but she's probably off. No, she's still sleeping. Lazy bones, there they go. Everybody's awake now. We'll carve him up. And then leave that for the villagers to pick up. Just going to keep an eye on those measly rabbits. Sneaking over in the corner. There's also this Draugr that we didn't chop down at the end of the blood moon last night. He's knocked down. And didn't really get anything good from him. That's alright. We'll leave those rocks for the stonecutters. They can pick them up. Our farms are coming on nicely. Lots of flax still being grown. Although a few of those things looked a bit empty. Just weeds. Nope, ready for harvest. There we go. So we can do them ourselves. And here's Ida. Let's check out Ida's skills. Good stonecutter. Doesn't like the rain and the storms. Good with wind. Exceptional lumberjacking. And exceptional stamina and strength. To me, that sounds like a lumberjack. But could also be a stonecutter. Very flexible. Good person to have. Apart from their dislike of the storms. So for now, do we want to... I think maybe pop them in the woodcutter's hut. As you can see, bonuses to both stone cutting and wood chopping, as well as a little bit of melee. If we ever want to have an army of melee people. Melee? You know what I mean. Alright. Now we can't make the carpentry add-on for the workshop until we finish the metalworker. Just got this placed when the blood moon started yesterday. So let's flatten this out. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's get another villager in. Alright, Jotun Blood's on the menu of things that we've got to get done later. In the meantime, one of the things that I've remembered that we need to do is assign somebody to the bloomery. Hanson's our not really good at anything kind of person. He was our builder helping make things, but we need someone to start turning the metal into metal blooms so that when we have finished the metalworker, they'll have something to turn into tools. And I've just noticed here that we look like we've run out of arrows again for our archers. And I think that's because we don't have enough sticks. Let's just double check the stocks over here. And yep, we're definitely short of sticks. We've got 2 lumberjacks now though. So they should be doing okay with it, but they just might be prioritizing other things. So for now, let's just go grab some ourselves from all the driftwood on the beach and take that back to the workshop. Alright, let's dump these in here. That should be good for a few hours. Keep the archers happy, but actually we might just grab a few back for ourselves. Let's just craft that up and give them straight over to you, and hopefully that'll make you happy. There you go. Go do some archery. From there, let's get back to what we were trying to do, which is finish off our metalworker. See, we've got quite a few things that we need to put in, and since we assigned Hansen to the bloomery, we don't have any builders anymore, so we're going to have to do this ourselves. Manual labour, I know. But we do have this handy little sled. So rather than... oh, you need arrows too. Well, hopefully with all those sticks we dropped off, you get them made for you pretty soon. In the meantime, I want to get this workshop, well, this metalworker happening. So let's take all the rocks we need, load them up in the sled, as well as a few other bits and pieces, and then we'll take it over to the metalworker. Okay, here we go, and let's load them all up. Need to repeat that now for a second load, and add them to the construction. Okay, I'm sick of Asa sitting around without any arrows and not doing any hunting. So let's come over. There's definitely no arrows there. So let's see if we can work out what's going on. The bow's there. The bone tip arrows are there. Let's maybe... I can change the priority, but I don't think that's going to be our issue. Let's just try and make them ourselves. And what's the go? Okay, we're short of sticks again. There's definitely not... well, there's 2 in there. That's, well, exactly what it told us. There's 2 of 3 available. So let's just go back here, and maybe we need to change the stick priority task. Given that we have 2 lumberjacks now, what we could do is find the sticks. There they are. And if we take one person off so that they don't focus on it, and then we raise the priority, that means that Ida will focus on sticks before everything else, but Header will continue to prioritize everything else and will completely avoid doing sticks to make sure that we don't run out of all the other materials. And Ida will only go on to the other materials after there's a full stack of sticks available in the woodcutter's hut. So hopefully that'll alleviate our problem with sticks and mean that the crafter in the workshop, the first workshop, will soon have a bunch of sticks to go and get from the woodcutter's hut and make sure that there's always arrows available. From there, it's time to get back to construction. Let's do another sled run. So now we've got both archers without any arrows, which isn't ideal, but we do have sticks, so something else is going on, and it looks like we're out of bone fragments now. So what we might need to do is actually just add in, let's add in some normal arrows. Yeah, let's add in some normal arrows as a task. Just add them as wood, and let's make it 40. And then let's up the priority of those. Where'd it go? Down the bottom. Bring them right up next to the other arrows. And that way, if we can't make the bone tip arrows, we'll make the wood arrows, and at least they've got something to go and do their training and their hunting with. Okay, we need 4 more long sticks, some rope, some bark, and some normal sticks. As you can see, there are lots of sticks now, 21 of them. So that change in priority is certainly helping. Let's whack these in now. We've got normal sticks. 2 more needed. We do actually have somebody else helping us build, so that's good. We aren't doing it ourselves. Just a little bit of rope now, as well as the last long stick, so we'll get the rope. Got plenty of fibre now. That's what we want to see. Eventually we'll add another crafter to the first workshop to help with crafting all of the clothes, but for now one crafter can just sort of work through that, because we need the second one to start doing metal. Anyway, there is our metal worker already. Let's go knock this out. Giddy up. We have a metal worker. Next, we need to get the carpentry add-on happening. Let's spin that around. Fits in just nicely. Look at that. And let's knock out the floor. Level out the train. There we go. And straight away, let's start tracking. Okay. Put the rope in. And now we need to assign a worker. We need to get this metalworking underway. So we'll grab Bo. He's our other skilled craftsman. And as you can see, there's some iron tools that we can't make yet because they're going to need carpentry pieces. But there are some iron tools that we can make, like the crude iron axe, and the rake, and the draw knife, which is the one that we'll need for the carpentry, as well as a skinning knife, it looks like. So let's start adding them in. The first thing we definitely need is the axe, then the draw knife for the carpentry. The rake and the iron skinning knife can sort of sit underneath that. I think that's kind of all for now. That's all we can make. A few other bits to come once we've got the carpentry up and running. He's hard at work already. And the main reason we want the axe coming out first is because we're going to need that to start chopping down the hardwood logs and the hardwood long sticks that we're going to need to finish the carpenter. So we need the axe to progress the carpentry construction. As you can see, Hanson's hard at work making metal blooms. Good on you, buddy. There's 4 of them already. So as soon as we've got Bo in a position to start making metal tools, he will come and grab them. Now, we still don't have enough for another villager. And as we head into night time, it might be time to just grab a little bit of extra water. Make sure everybody's assigned. Nope, we've got 1 homeless. There you go, you can go live there. Everybody's assigned a bed. We've got 3 spare beds in here. So what we could actually do now is start to dismantle some of these shelters that are just kind of in the way here. So let's dismantle this one, and this one. No particular reason for those 3, just they're the closest. And we can reassign these people to the second cottage, which is now full, which means we need to start thinking about a 3rd cottage. That's going to need to go over next to here, so we're going to need to chop some trees down. There we go. Now I know I said we're going to need to chop lots of trees down to open up the space for the next cottage, but the other thing we need is villagers, and for that we need Jotun blood. So I think it's time to go off running. Let's just make sure we've got an extra pickaxe in case we break the current one, and let's go get some. Now, one thing Jotun blood farming does give you is lots of small stones, so let's pop them straight into the construction. And then we'll head back, drop off the 1 extra piece of... Nope, we can't drop it off. There's no space. I was going to say the 1 extra piece of metal ore that we've got. Picked up that from the mine on the way through. So let's summon in the next person. Shrimpy Woodsman, so eats extra food, battle-scarred veteran, so a good fighter. Snow Strider Now let's take Ragnar, a potential good woodsman and potential good fighter, and see how they come through. Now we need 5 large stones to keep progressing on the carpentry add-on, so there are always going to be large stones available up here at the mine. As you can see, there's a bunch in there. Let's grab them out and fill up our sled. And since we're here, we may as well fill up the sled with iron ore as well. We can just sort of keep that in the sled until we need it. Saves us a trip later. Okay, that's the stones done. Just sticks, hardwood and bark to go. No axe has appeared miraculously yet from Bo the Craftsman, so we can't get started on the hardwood just yet. That's going to be potentially a bit of a slow part for us. Now, one thing I have noticed is the well next to the farm is getting a little bit on the dry side at times. Between the villagers and the expanding growth of the village, we're starting to get more people needing water. And we do have the second well, but sometimes they like this one too. So to make sure that the farmers have all the water that they need to make sure that the crops are looked after, let's put probably an excessive amount of rain collectors just along the front of the farm like that. That'll make sure that there's plenty of extra water for them to grab and use. Okay, looks like Bo is actually doing something with the metal blooms, so that's a good sign. Firing up. We need more blooms for crafting. You should have plenty. Go get them from the bloomery. Let's just double check. There might not actually be. You've already grabbed them all. And Hanson's busy making some more. You need more firewood for the pyre. That's okay. There should be enough coal left. So if we do a bit more lumberjacking soon, that'll sort that out. But there might be some tree stumps that we can just quickly knock out to create a bit of firewood for you. There we go. And I guess while we're here, let's just knock out a tree as well, or give us a few more bits and pieces that we're going to need anyway, as well as generating a bit more firewood. There we go. One more tree out the way, bit of extra space for our next cottage, and we've got Ragnar here. Ragnar is a good miner, enjoys storms, enjoys sunrise, proficient at wood chopping but needs a bit more food, so overall might be best as a stone cutter or a miner. Now I don't know, no, we can't add a second one straight in, and both of them are already pretty good at wood chopping, so maybe we want to use Ragnar as the stone cutter and maybe replace Sven at the mine, because Sven doesn't actually have any natural rock cutting expertise. Alright, so here's Sven. Let's just come down and see what you're doing. And yeah, you've definitely got no skills. So let's grab your rock climbing, your rock cutting material. Whoa, what the sound was that? What is the... Okay, we've moved into alien. Crawler spawn. Hopefully not erupting out of anybody's chest cavities. And also good that you're dead. So we stole Sven's pickaxe. Let's now dismiss you from the mine and let's assign Ragnar. You can take over and we'll go find wherever Ragnar is as well and give you the pickaxe that we stole. Let's take some metal ore back with us as well. Here he is. Here's Ragnar. Well, you already had lots of pickaxes, but you've got a couple more now. I'm sure you'll go through them eventually. When they break, you'll already have one on hand. Now that that's sorted, let's get the next villager in. Who are we looking at here? Eat less, but not good at logging. Weather resistant and No, uneasy with the weather. A toss-up. Smaller health pool that goes with eating less. More resistant to sickness. That's probably the best option for now. We'll see what else we get. Gatherer's always complaining. It's okay. Cook's complaining, probably about a lack of food, and since we're a bit hungry, let's help ourselves. That'll give you one more spot, at least for a second. And as you can see, oh, I was going to say we've got something, but it's the wrong one. Why did you make the axe first? We need that for the hardwood. It's the only thing that we need now to finish off the carpentry. So let's make sure that the metal keeps flowing. Fill that right up and drop these next to it. So they'll grab them once the other bucket is used up. And from here, since we just need to wait for Bo to make an axe, let's go with some wood chopping again. Okay, checking back in. We've got a skinning knife now. I think you're deliberately avoiding making the one that I want. What's that about? Oh well, while we wait, we chop. There we go. There's plenty of trees chopped. Let's see if we've got enough space now for the next cottage. To do that, let's just try and flatten out some terrain. So we don't want to build it on the lumpy stuff and have it at the wrong height. So we'll level this out and then see if we can fit it in. Oh, and here's Finger. Okay, let's have a look. We've got good constitution. That's good for winter. Extra vitality, good for farming. Mighty vigor and doesn't like storms. Exceptional stamina. So overall a strong, healthy person that's good at farming, I think. Also worth noting that we've got 2 homeless people, which is why we need to finish that cottage. But yeah, good at melee combat and good at farming. So we might need to maybe shuffle who's at the farm. Who's at the farm? Braga, who's good in spring. And Oidus, who is also good in spring. But doesn't have a particular farming talent, but has plenty of experience there now. Oidus was our first farmer, but is also a good winter huntsman. Kind of a can go anywhere person. Good with mental fortitude. Alright, maybe we just add an extra person to the farm. I'll think about that one a bit more while we finish flattening out the space for the cottage. Now we still have to do a bit of cleanup, but it looks like the cottage will fit. Bit of red, but it looked like, yeah, we should be able to sneak it in there somewhere or other. So we'll just do a bit of cleanup, move some of the stuff out of the way so it doesn't get buried underneath the cottage. Okay, that's made a bit of space, so I think we should be able to fit it in now, like that. It's pretty close to the other one, but looks pretty good. A few bits and pieces now just overlapping the corner, so we'll pop them out of the way. Our lumberjacks and builders can use them, grab them off the ground in short order, I'm sure. So we'll just dump all that over there, and from there we can probably leave the cottage for the builders and maybe bring in another villager. Except that we are 1 Jotun blood short, so you know what that means. Time for some mining. Alright, back with plenty of blood. Let's whack that in. Get the next one started. Winter Huntsman and Green Thumb. Steadfast Resolve and Vitality. We don't really need a farmer, so let's go straight for the other guy. So it looks like Folky's unhappy. And it's not actually for arrows this time. It's because they don't have a bow. So the simple bow also needs bone fragments. So I think that's our problem here. Is that we're light on for bone fragments. We need more skeletons attacking us. So in the meantime, we'll just add in a task for the flimsy short bow, so that they've always got a bow, because that doesn't need anything special. Pop that there, and then that way they'll have a choice as to which bow they grab. They'll take the better bow, I'm sure, if one's available, but if there's not, they'll grab the simple. Next up, let's check. Do we have an axe yet? We don't. Bow's still slacking. Needs iron blooms. Okay. Our supply chain isn't quite humming along just yet. You're just getting started. Okay. But you are working your way through the metal. So you're definitely making them. Just not as quick as I'd like. Which might just be... maybe we need a second person assigned to the bloomery. If we get another villager with no proficiencies in the training skills, we could potentially put you in there. But for now, I guess I'll just have to be a little bit patient. While we wait for the axe to be crafted, let's just store some of them in there so they're not in our inventory. Then I guess we could, you know, make some compost. Sounded comfortable. And maybe see how the builders are going. The cottage, getting there, that's not too bad. And since our health is at half, let's have a quick snooze, see if we can get that up a little bit. Not much gained, but let's get on with it. So I'm really hoping now that we got an axe. Let's go check. Hey, we do. Finally. Okay, so you know what that means. We should get straight on with birch wood, which gives us hardwood. Right next to where we need it at the workshop with the carpentry station. So we're going to chop these down. And straight away just get them straight over. We want this carpentry station up and running because we need that with crafters to start making wood posts and other bits and pieces that we're going to need for our future buildings, and most importantly for the weapons that we want and the tools that we need moving forward, the iron tools. We also need firewood, so I'll knock the stumps down as we go sometimes. Builders can grab the actual logs and long sticks for us. Oh, and they're finishing off stage 1 of the other cottage as we speak. I do like how much faster this feels now with the iron tools. Not sure if it's actually faster or whether the trees just have less health, but it really feels like it knocks them down nice and quick. Just keep running over a few bits and pieces as we go. Just need one more, and you're going to bring it for me. So I'll do the firewood. Make sure that we've got plenty for the charcoal that the bloomery needs. And let's finish crafting this out. There we go. Now with carpentry available, I was going to upgrade our woodcutter's hut. But I might actually maybe move it and build a new one over here right next to the workshop so that when the logs are brought back, they're really close to where we need them at the carpentry shop. Just saves in travel time, I think, a little bit. So I'll flatten out some area up here. That'll just make it nice and close, and we can put in a new woodcutter's hut. There's our nice flat area. So let's just grab... oh, here's boulder. Let's grab the woodcutter's pit, and we can spin that around. Might put it the other way. Actually, the logs at the other end, so we'll put it that way. Just like that. Somewhere there. That'll do. Flatten that out. And actually, let's go check out Boulder. Doesn't have any particular skills. No particular skills does Boulder. Nothing too bad either. But... and we've also got Finja, where we haven't been slack with the assigning of our new villagers. Finja's a farmer. Ragnar's homeless and needs somewhere to sleep. So we're lacking in housing. We do need the builders to finish that off, but they're working on it. They're at stage 2 of 4 and just need a little bit of rope, but they should be able to get that from the workshop. We could make it, but yeah, then they'll be spoon-fed. They can do it themselves. Okay, next step is time to add in the carpentry tasks. If we scroll down, there we go. There's the items we can make. Wood planks, wood beams, wood posts, and wood shafts. So let's create those. we'll just add in the planks, the shafts, the beams, and the posts. There we go. We'll work out the quantities of those later. But in the meantime, that's the under construction. We do definitely need to finish off. Oh, there you go. They've done the house. I told you they could do the rope themselves. The cottage, I mean, is now underway. The question is, maybe I don't want to move. Maybe I just want to cancel this. Just not sure that it's worth building that over there. I know we don't really want them close to the cottages for the appeal, but for right now, I think it's probably easier for us to just upgrade to the woodcutter's house. And there's the 8 of those. So we need kind of 8 of everything, but only 4 of the posts. So let's get the ratios right. We'll add in the shafts, the beams, the posts. Actually, no, the posts need to be less. The planks need to be 4. There we go. That should be a good starting point to get the relative quantities that we won't need moving. Those hard at work making tools. So we will continue chopping down the hardwood that we need to make all of those carpentry items that we just assigned. Builders have moved the cottage onto the 4th section, so that's good. That'll be ready soon. Now, since we're getting good at chopping down the hardwood trees that we need to think about who else is going to actually make them in the carpentry workshop. Got Boulder here that's got no particular skills, no proficiencies. So, apart from also not having a place to sleep, might be a good person just to throw into the workshop as the carpenter for now. Not necessarily a permanent assignment. It would have also been good to throw in the bloomery as an extra helper to keep metal production happening, but hopefully now that I've got my axe, we will have spares by the time we get back there. And we definitely need the carpenter to make those planks and posts that we need so that we can finish construction. The cottage is finished though, so let's just assign everybody in. Oh, no, you can't assign everybody in so they got a place to sleep because we haven't got enough beds, so let's just add them in now. There we go, that's the extra 4 beds. And as we head into evening, let's just go do a few tidy up items. Drop down an extra tree, transfer the metal from the sled to the bloomery. Oh, and bring in another villager. Who have we got? Oh, another woodsman. And a good rock cutter, but not logger. Maybe let's go for a double woodsman buff with Kara. Let's do that. Always going to need good woodcutters. Alright, doesn't look like our builders got too far with building out all the thatch beds that we need, so let's go help that along ourselves. We've got no thatch over here, so let's go push this along. There's the bed, and let's assign in Boulder so he's got somewhere to sleep. Don't want homeless people kicking around getting tired. And while we're doing it, we might as well go get some more thatch, see if we can finish off the other beds as well. There we go, and this one we might just take a quick nap in, again to get our health just up a little bit in case there's a blood moon at the end of the next day. Oh, there's the next day, and we're full of thatch, and there's a wolf pack. That's all happening. Don't know where they're going to come from, so let's just head back to sort of the main town square. And we've also got Kara here. It's showed up overnight, who is 3-star on wood harvesting, so definitely needs to be a woodcutter. And everybody's spooked, which means that the wolves are over here somewhere, and here they all come charging out of bed. Here we go. Oh, there's a couple of wolves. I've got no stamina. That's not great. Not great. Run away. Run away. Come help me. Help me, villagers. There we go. Wolves are defeated. That's a nice rousing start to the day for the village. And the guys over here in the shelters next to the campfire are sleeping it off. Alright, let's bring in... Who do we want now? Well, let's go with Sigrid, I think. The other one had a couple of negative traits, so I'm going to ignore those. Have a quick drink, fill up our water skin, and let's skin down these wolves. There we go. Bit of extra leather scraps. And a chunk of meat that we can pick up. Yeah, let's help keep things tidy. For once I'll help out around the village. Got room in here. There's heaps. Yeah, that's the last slot. So we've got plenty of meat chunks, which is nice. Asa's been busy. Now the other thing I want to do, since we noticed that I didn't have any thatch, again I'm just going to do the same trick here where I'm going to turn off header and just leave Ida to do those at high priority to make sure that we've always got thatch and always got sticks, because I'm kind of sick of running over to the beach to do it when they could easily go and grab it. We've got plenty of the collection markers for the woodcutters over here, so they should be able to get what we need. That's the last thatch we need for the woodcutter's house. Everybody's queuing up for their morning grub. Let's pop that in there. And the other thing we need is nails. So we don't actually have them in the crafting queue. So let's just add them in as a task. Must have missed them somewhere. Here they are in the forging. Let's just add 10 of them. Oh, maybe that's excessive. We'll start with 5. Next, we're just going to need more wood. All those posts, beams, shafts and wood planks all need hardwood, either logs or long sticks, so chopping down some trees and bringing them over to the carpentry station is kind of the next order of business. Our next order of business is to work out what we're doing with our builders. We've got 3 at the moment. We've got Kara, who's very much into wood cutting. We've got Sven, that doesn't have any particular skills, and we've got Finja, who is probably best as a farmer. So how many have we got here assigned to the woodcutter's house? We've got 2 of 2. So once that's upgraded, we can add a 3rd person. Probably just need to wait for that to be finished built. In the meantime, we can add Finja as the 3rd farmer straight away into the farm. Got the farming proficiency and we've got plenty happening here, so I think the 3rd person there will be good, but we do kind of want to avoid any extra farmers now. And then we'll keep Sven, who doesn't have any particular talents currently, as the builder. 50 seconds until the next villager. We don't have any more Jotun blood, so we can't queue up one straight after that. So while we wait, let's just double check if we've got anybody that's homeless. We do. Kara's now got somewhere to live and is currently a builder until we can get her into the woodcutter's house. We can also potentially dismantle our last shelters. There we go. Get rid of them. And pop the last 2 people into there. And now we've got 3 full cottages. So for the next villagers, we're going to need another one. I'm not sure if we can build it straight away. I could start thinking about a longhouse, but that uses up the carpentry items that we need to keep for other bits and pieces. So just 1 tree in the way. And here's Sigrid. Sigrid is, here we go, builder, homeless, farmer, forager, gatherer and farming. So since you're strong in gathering, and we've only got the 1 gatherer for the moment, Maybe we can just put you into the gatherer's hut. Actually, I've got a better idea. Just temporarily, let's add you into the workshop. That way you can just help along with the crafting and the carpentry. We really need those metal tools. We really need the wood planks and all the other bits and pieces. So if you can help out with those, that'll just speed things along, even though that's not your preferred. We can add you to the gatherer's hut later. In the meantime, let's knock this fir tree down. It's the only one that's kind of blocking where we need to put the next cottage. And there's cottage number 4. Oh, you're straight into it, so I'll leave you to knock that out. And in the meantime, always looks like carnage when you've dismantled those shelters. In the meantime, we'll grab a bit of food to eat, just to make sure that we're topped off. And have a drink. Then see how the carpentry's going. Not too bad. Everybody's bringing over bits and pieces that are needed. So that's good. Grabbing the supplies from the woodcutter's hut. Even though there's some right here. So let's help you out a little bit. I'll bring them over, make sure you're fully stocked. The builder's grabbing the finished product. Everything's kind of working. So with everything kind of working and underway, one of the things that's probably time to start thinking about is defences. Well, the villagers aren't particularly happy about the fact that I have none, and the village is completely open, so at some point we need to start putting that in. I'm just going to track this so we know where it's up to. I'm actually going to do anything else about it for now. And over here, I want to start building the fence. Okay, with night falling, that's probably enough for now. Builders are going to need to work their way along those, but it's the start of our village defences anyway. And do I have any? Not really enough to make any significant amount of rope on me at the moment, so at least we can always rely on there being plenty of fibre. Look at it all. Plenty of fibre. Possibly too much. We can potentially start to think about toning that down, but the farmers are doing a great job for now, so we might as well turn all of this into rope. You can never have enough. And then we might as well start filling it up. For all of the fence pieces, we'll just add the rope and then the builders can do the sticks later. Get the gate leveled out as well. That's the last fence. We'll add some rope to the cottage. And since everybody else is turning in for the night, we might just see if we can knock out the rest of this cottage, because I think our most recent villager now doesn't have anywhere to sleep. And we don't have anywhere to sleep. Oh, that's not working. Oh, it's because we've got the wrong kind of log. We've got a hardwood long stick rather than just a long stick. So let's drop that down. We'll do a bit of wood cutting and get what we need. There's stage 2 done. The next part's all bark, so we'll use all the plentiful bark that we've got from the previous shelters that we tore down. We just have to do it in a few phases since we don't have a lot of inventory space. And there's stage 3 done. And there's our 4th cottage. Sign in Sigrid so you've got somewhere to sleep. And that'll mark the end of day 16 in the Seaborne Raiders update for Aska. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed the video and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more of my videos in the future. Massive thanks to my patrons for their support, thanks to you for watching, and happy raiding. Apparently that's not my bed.